you so much for coming on my show. It's such an honor to have you here. How are you?
Thank you, Addi. I appreciate it. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking, and thank you for having me on your show.
Oh, are you kidding me? This is inspiration for the next generation. I know you hear this a lot for all your life, and I bet you everywhere you turn, your father, God bless him, Jean-Claude, has always inspired us, and he's one of the reasons I wanted to get into martial arts. I was always admired him, and I've always respected him. And one thing I've always respected for your father was his honesty. I can remember watching not just all the movies back to back. I ended up doing a Van Damme marathon. So we've got to start from the very first one. We've got to reach to the latest one. And I was like, I'm still a fan. If someone says to me, watching a Van Damme movie, I turn off everything. We're watching the Van Damme movie. And sincerely as well. I can remember seeing, first time I ever saw yourself was in the original Universal Soldier, where you're only in it for like a little glimpse of it, and then they were shouting, Luke, Luke, and you turn and you run off, and there it goes, and it cuts back to your dad. And it's like you were playing the younger version of Luke Devereaux, wasn't it?
Yes, correct. Yes, it was a good experience. It was one of the first experiences I've had on in front of the camera. So yes, yeah, it was good.
And you're still charming your way even till today, I have to admit as well. So I guess
Thank you.
charm runs in the Van Damme family, doesn't it?
Yeah. I guess you have to have some sort of charm in the film business. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's
And a
very
lot of
kind.
patience, and a lot of oh, you're most welcome, and a lot of patience as well, because obviously
Yes, yes. This is.
yeah. Yeah, I've worked in the film
Yeah.
business myself. Even as an extra sometimes, even on theatre, it
Oh,
can
cool.
take a lot. Yeah, oh, thank you. It can take. Oh, check it out. One of a Van Damme complimented me, said it was cool. Thank you,
Well,
and
yeah, we're all in this together, of course.
appreciate you, appreciate you, and yeah. So yeah, obviously, it can be a very strenuous job. You have to be in really good shape. I mean, I still, like I said, I still remember the first time I ever saw your dad, God bless him, was in Bloodsport, where I was just blown away by it. It's like, who is this guy? He's so cool. I mean, they wouldn't let me watch it, but then I snuck downstairs to watch it anyways. I'm not missing this out. They got to return it back to. Do you remember the old VHS tapes? We had to
Yes, of
return it
course.
back. Yeah, we
Rental
had to.
house.
Rental house, yeah. We had to return it back the very next day, and I was like, no, I got to sneak downstairs and watch it. So I would sneak downstairs at about 6 a.m., watch the movie. I was like, what is this? This is awesome. And like, because your dad was just some next level. To me, your dad was like a real life superhero. Great physique, great martial arts. One thing I'll always remember your dad doing the splits between two chairs. My goodness. I mean, it's like, is it this? I just kept thinking this guy's not even human. He's got to be some kind of genetic made in some laboratory experiment that turned out so well. God bless him.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, the Bloodsport. It's crazy because a lot of people don't. They hear the stories of Menachem Golan or I Wood on Black Eagle saying that they discovered him, but really what happened was my father went to Menachem Golan's office, had a connection. He has a better way of explaining it. Obviously, he experienced it, but from what he's told many people and what I've heard over the numerous years, is they had an appointment to meet him and to basically say, "Hey, I want to be a movie star, an action star," and they looked at him and said, "Michael, who the hell are you?" Michael Dudikoff is a star, and
Yeah.
Bruce Lee was a star, and Chuck Norris is a star, but who are you with your accent? And so my father really had to practically, physically, in person, beg for the part and cry,
Yeah,
and
yeah, I
and
remember that.
and he did, and they gave him some milk and some cookies to calm him down, and then they asked him, "Do you have?" They got Bloodsport on the table. He called his assistant. They brought in Bloodsport, and Menachem Golan, as my father does in the accent. You want to be a star? You'll be a star, And so
Yeah,
I've heard it so many times. As an
yeah.
actor, I pick up, But
I
but
love the story. I just love the
yeah, it's a
story.
great story. It's a wonderful story, and Mohammed Kizi was there on one of the meetings. But regardless, he had to work for it. Now, when the movie was finished, it was edited very poorly,
Yeah,
and he had to go back again and basically not so much beg, but to convince Menachem Golan that he can re-edit the film. And so a lot of people don't know this, maybe you do, but a lot of people don't. When my father re-edited Bloodsport, he would take it was Moviola editing. It was film strip editing,
oh yeah,
real
yeah.
35
Those days.
millimeter, so copy paste. before the Control Alt Delete days. He would he basically re-edited in a way where he would overlap the impact to stretch his character's timing in the air and the kicks and the explosive emotions that you get in the editorial procedure of that film. Yes, my father's technique was Shotokan and very, very accurate and very linear and very, very flexible and very big dexterity. And he milked all those moments, but upon the impact, he would stretch it even further using editorial. When he was editing Universal Soldier, the first one,
Oh yeah.
the editor, I believe, on the film was I forget his name, but he was the editor of Tower of Inferno. And Tower of Inferno was a fantastic film, but the editor is an Academy Award nominated editor, and he told my mother, who was sitting on the chair next to him, he said, if your husband ever does editing, he would be an award-winning editor. And I think it's because the prowess and the navigation and the survival and the passion to make it so much, he found every little niche he could to protect himself from the very beginning stages. And so in his contracts from here on out, he usually edits his films. The ones that usually don't make it and are, a low budget film are usually because it wasn't in his contract. But his editing is so good. He has such a vision for choreography. His brain is built for that. So when he fights, it's the same technique. When he fights, he thinks he's very much a tactician. When he fights, he understands if he goes here, he can double here, knowing that the guy would try to evade here, or block there, so he can find a way around. Hence his, fighting style technique and all the switchbacks. So yeah, it's Bloodsport was the reason why it was so impactful was because of the re-edit as well.
Surprised. It's a genius from there. He had everything going from a good-looking guy, great physique, very intelligent, and a good visionary. Your dad,
Yes.
God bless him, he's such a good visionary as well. As you can see, this gentleman here, this is Ian Jacqueline, as you can see back there. He even says in the interview, your dad was one of the inspirations as well. He was in Kickboxer 3. Your dad started part 1. So that's perfect timing.
Right. Oh, cool. Fantastic. Oh, that's so fun. Nice. That's great, man. That's awesome. I love it. That's awesome, man. That's great.
Thank you. But again, it's such an absolute honor and pleasure to have you, Christopher Van Damme, on the show. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you, Addi. I appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. So what I like to do first with all my guests is I like to do 3 important things. Number 1, I like to make prayer for you. Part of my culture and my faith is that when somebody takes the time out for you, you have to repay them with faith as well. So what I like to do is I'd like to make prayer that everything that you do in life, you become successful, that more success comes your way, and that you be the best at everything you can be in life. And that goes for all your loved ones as well. Amen. I'd like to do that for you.
Amen to you, my friend. I could say the exact same in return. God bless you and keep going on the grind that you're doing. I think it's wonderful.
Well, thank you. That means a lot to me. I'm kind of burning up a bit. I saw the lighting around here, but it's worth it. Van Damme's just complimented me, so this is the best moment ever.
We're human, and like I said before, we're here because of you guys and because of our parents. And when someone prays for you, in my culture also, and I'm universal, but I have faith. I'm a man of faith. And when someone prays for you and gives that importance of their time in their life for you specifically, you must give back the favor just like you did. So I'm right there with you, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. May God bless you always.
You too.
Number 2, I'd like to say I'd like to compliment you on all your accomplishments with acting, with martial arts, with movie making. I see the inspiration has not stopped ever since. Quick question: can you do the splits between the 2 chairs as well?
Yes, and the 360. But as I'm 40 years old now, I have to stretch for like 2 hours before I do any of that. So, but I can do it.
You still look about 25, actually.
It's all this. It's my wife put. I don't know what this is. A bounce here, and then the lights. Thank you.
I'm gonna say 25.
Thank you very much. I'll take 30. Don't worry.
You said that, not me.
Yeah, trust me. I'm honest with myself. I have to be.
God bless you.
You too. Thank you.
And third thing is because my show is called Chat Over Coffee. In case we have the opportunity of meeting, if you're in the UK or if I'm in the US, how do you like your coffee?
Well, it's right here, and I like it straight, black.
Same here. Cheers. Thank you.
It's
brother.
good for you. It's good for you.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Great appetite suppressant.
very much, and also
Yeah.
just very good for your for people say it's not good for blood pressure, but when you have certain amounts of blood pressure, it actually equates the blood pressure if you have it black.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, I mean, like I can't remember the last time I ever had it with any type of sweetener, any type of milk. I feel like
No.
I'm cheating on the coffee if I put cream or sugar in it. So it
Okay.
feels like that. It feels like that. To
Yeah,
say the
it
truth.
really does. Naturally, our bodies know because of years of evolution what we
Yes.
like. Our blood
Yeah,
types, it's very scientific.
it is. So if you're ever in England, you choose however you like your coffee. It's already there for you. There's coffee from all over the world over here for you.
Oh, that's great. So you're really a coffee fan, huh? That's awesome.
Well,
My wife is too. She loves it.
God bless her. God bless her. So, I mean, my nickname. It was some people actually call me Mister Barista because where I work, I usually whenever I make a pot of coffee for myself, I make another big pot for everybody to have. I say, just help yourself to it. It doesn't matter. You go, can I have
Oh,
some?
that's
Yeah, I
cool,
mean,
man.
yeah. It just feels like the right thing to do because I feel like if I'm able to eat and the person next to me is starving, I'm not doing a good job as a human being. I really am not. I have to do
Yep.
something right.
Well said. It's funny. Whenever I'm directing something with my team, I always make sure people like you, people like me, we live on a certain frequency of sensitivity. So you can feel people. You can feel
Yes.
them without them, and they're like, "How do you know?" Because they're not maybe in tune with themselves or the universe or faith in a sense where they can kind of reside on that level. Um, so with my team and my film team and or my family, when I feel someone that's not feeling too well, I always try to find a way to bring them back in without making it obvious to them so they can feel, oh, he doesn't see my mask, but if he does, I feel comfortable with him. So I feel like I'm part of this family. And every morning I make breakfast for my family. So it's something that I just love to do. It's just I like to give back to the people. Yeah, it's very important.
It's true. It's true. If you're given, then you have to give back. If you get,
Yes.
you give. It's a two-way
Yes.
street. It's like how the right hand helps the left hand. That's the way I look at things.
Yes. 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 1,000%. Yes. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. So diving into the interview now, what is your martial arts background and where was the inspiration from?
Well, the inspiration was obviously my father's upbringing in Shotokan. So he trained me in Shotokan as well, and I did some Taekwondo here and there. Never really connected with Taekwondo like I did Shotokan. I'm more of a linear martial artist, linear based martial artist. So all the slow motion kicks, the very rigid Japanese style, which is still Chinese in the base of it, but it all is. But that's my background, mostly Japanese martial arts. I'm actually starting to, hopefully soon, once I finish post production on my Star Wars fan film, I will be jumping into bookend training for Aikido with Luc Lafontaine,
Awesome.
good friend of mine. And he also did the choreography on Star Wars. So when I was training with that, and I did some when I was a kid, I never really continued. I've always wanted to go back. I told Luke, "Would you train me?" And he was like, "Absolutely." So I said, "Great, we'll do that." But I still train Shotokan. I still do. I don't compete like I used to. I used to compete a lot. I did a lot of competition in my youth, and I stopped fighting because I didn't like to fight. I remember one day I had a competition. I won the competition, but it was a tournament, and the guy who I was fighting against had to wear glasses, but his glasses because he couldn't see. And
Oh
I
yeah.
felt so bad. I felt so bad about this. And his glasses were special. They were made to basically work with all the armor and everything and the padding and all this stuff. And so we I threw a it was basically just a regular forward kick and a little screwdriver technique on the inside. My father taught me and I knocked off his glasses and I felt so bad. So ever since that competition, I stopped. And that was when I was 21,
Oh yeah.
19, stopped. And no, 19, sorry. 21, I was attempting to do competition again, but I stopped. So, but now in the gym, when I train Monday through Friday, Saturday's break, Sunday, kind of ramp back in, and about 2 days of the week I do kicks, and kata form and all that. So I try my best to do at least the basics because the basics are always the foundation, just to keep yourself, poised.
Oh,
But martial arts is it's big for me. It's very important. It keeps me grounded. For those who have not done martial arts, I highly recommend it. People who have alcohol problems or people who have drug problems, martial arts is one of the best. Tyson Fury is a good example of that. One of the best things to do for yourself because you recenter yourself like that. Your body
oh
just,
indeed. Yeah.
yeah, it's amazing. How about yourself? If you've done martial arts in your life?
No, yeah. Yes, I have. I started off doing just pure boxing because obviously I grew up admiring Stallone, obviously Rocky and
Yeah,
everything, and
fantastic.
loved Muhammad Ali. May he rest in peace.
Yeah. May you
And
rest in peace.
obviously your father, who inspired me to get into Shotokan karate. Ironic thing was, one day I wasn't feeling very happy about myself, and I was in the gym, and there was this guy doing these. He was stretching his leg against the Smith machine, like where you're doing your squats. And thought to myself, this guy's got to be a martial artist. I go there, introduce myself to him. I said, hi, yeah, I'm guessing you're a martial artist. He goes, yeah, I'm a third degree black belt in Shotokan. And I was right. And it's like, so Van Damme was your inspiration. Yeah, one of the many inspirations. Like, okay, fair enough. Everyone's,
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
it just goes everywhere. And then, yeah,
Yes, it does.
I started training with him for a while. Then obviously because I liked Steven Seagal growing up, I got into Aikido and everything. And
Nice.
yeah, I did a bit of capoeira because I watched the movie Only
Oh,
the
cool.
Strong. Yeah, Only the Strong. I believe one of your father's friends, Sheldon Lettich, directed Only the Strong
Yes.
with Mark Dacascos because that was the first movie ever that showcased capoeira to the world, and it was beautiful. It was absolutely
Yes.
beautiful. And
Yes.
then I wanted to get into kickboxing again because of your dad, kickboxer, and that was actually one of my favorite movies. Everyone used to ask me, "What do you like better, Bloodsport or Kickboxer?" I got to be honest, I love them both, but if I had to pick one, it had to be Bloodsport. It had to be
Yeah,
Bloodsport,
same
hands down.
same here. Same here. There's so much more imperialism to it. Um, but Kickboxer is full of passion, full of drive. It's a great project too. It's crazy because in Kickboxer, my father he spoke to Charles Wang, the producer, I believe, of Kickboxer and Double Impact. I don't know if he did Kickboxer actually, but I think he did because when they landed in Thailand or Hong Kong to introduce Michel Kizzy as Tom Poe.
Oh yeah,
And it was really cool because Michel's obviously he's like my uncle. My father and him made it together, and they went their separate ways in the older years, but always remained friends, which is beautiful still to this day. And I'm trying to get them in a script together, but a little bit different. Not your typical action movie, but more acting because they have great faces in their older
oh
ages. They're
indeed,
so
indeed, yeah.
both of them so charismatic.
Your
So
dad, God bless him, he's aged gracefully. He has. He really
yes,
has aged
God bless
gracefully.
him. Yes,
In fact, God bless you all. You've all aged
thank you.
gracefully,
Thank you.
and you. To tell you the truth, I know you probably hear this a lot, but you look more like your dad in the movie Double Impact when he's
Yeah.
Chad, with the hair up. But I can remember one movie you had where you had the slick back. So, oh, now he's Alex, and it's like and your dad showed a picture of you on what was the Van Damme behind closed doors, and he picked and goes, "Look, Christopher looks just like me here in Double Impact."
That was a
Sorry,
fun
but
show. No, no, that's great. That's great, man. That was a fun show. That was yeah, ITV from the UK. They came and did
yeah,
that show with us. That was a fun experience because it wasn't scripted. It wasn't scripted, but we'd have to like sometimes we'd have to redo things just because they didn't have the camera running for certain
yeah,
things.
yeah,
But like then they learned the camera has to be running all the time with this family because it's like kind of like fighting. My it's funny with Kickboxer. My father had Michelle Kizzy with him in the airplane, and he was fully decked out in Tom Poe's like, introductory makeup. It wasn't the final thing that you see on screen. They put the prosthetics, the hair, all the stuff. And Michelle's a
yeah,
tall guy, big guy, and
yeah.
so
He is.
everybody on
Yeah.
the huge guy, everybody on the plane's looking at this guy with this strange mock-up, and he has the AC from the airplane on his makeup because it gets hot in the airplane, especially back in the 80s.
Oh
And
yeah,
so they land in this again hot country, very humid. And the producer's like, let's see what this actor's like. And out of the airplane walks Michelle Kizzy as Tom Poe, and everybody's just like, wow, this is unbelievable. This is they hired him right there on the tarmac. So it was really cool experience. Is my reception coming through well, Addy? I
it's
saw
fine.
that the
It's fine.
video. It's good. Okay,
It's
I
fine,
saw that it
brother.
was reconnecting for a while. So forgive me for my pauses,
No,
guys.
it's
It's
fine.
because I
No, it's
saw.
fine. It's fine.
But
I
yeah.
appreciate
Anyway,
your honesty. I appreciate your kind. It's a sweet question to tell you the truth. I appreciate that. Thank you.
of course, no problem. It's. I want to make sure you have the best quality possible. And again, forgive me for not having the laptop present.
It's fine. It's
Um,
fine. Yeah.
so yeah, that's my kickboxer story. But if I had to choose between both, I would also choose Bloodsport. One of my favorite films my father did is Lucas, the bouncer. I think it's one of his best performances.
Oh yeah.
And Legionnaire. I love Legionnaire. It's one of my favorites. In fact, I wanted to write and direct a sequel of Legionnaire where, the character is was it I forget his name. And it wasn't that was the quest. Dubois was a quest. But anyway, I wanted to do a sequel to Legionnaire because all the actors are still alive, and do something really cool and different in like in the would be what would it be would be the 50s now, the 60s almost. So when they're
Yeah.
older and still in the desert. Anyway, yeah.
That'd be cool. I'd definitely be in the first line to see that. One of your father's, two of your father's best performances. First, Universal Soldier. I love the innocence that he would play. He
Yeah,
was like when he comes
very good.
back from the dead, he's like just trying to find himself, and he's like the character Luke Devereaux. He's trying to find himself. Like what's happened to me? What's happened to the last 50 years? What happened here? And the other movie I loved, Your Daddy. And when I first watched it the first time, I admit I didn't like it, but then when I watched it again, then I realized what he was trying to accomplish, and that was nowhere to run. And
Mm.
he's like, oh, he's
Yeah.
not trying to be Jean-Claude, the movies, the fighter, the martial artist. He's Jean-Claude, the actor. And then
Yes.
when I watched it again afterwards, oh, that was actually a really good performance. I watched it a few years more down the line. I was a kid back
Mm.
then, and it was like any time a Van Damme movie would come out, I'd say, "Can you rep that? Can you rep this? Can you rep that?" I was like, I just couldn't get enough of watching your dad. And then I started doing the push-ups because I wanted to kind of look like your dad, God bless him. But I don't think I'd ever be as handsome as your father would.
We're all handsome and beautiful in our own way, brother. It's okay. My father definitely has a look to him, and so does Sir Daniel Day-Lewis. So it's my favorite actor, by the way. But
Oh, great.
speaking of push-ups, I do push-ups every day. I do about 200 to 300 every day. Not straight line. I do them in about sequences of 30, nice and slow,
Yeah.
different, short, wide, different catches, and it's the best workout. It's
Oh,
the
indeed.
best. I transferred from weight training to calisthenics a while back, so I've leaned out a lot. I used to be 200 to 10 pounds, muscle very big, but my kicks were slower. I was getting a lot of joint pain as I grew older, and now that I'm about to approach 40, I changed out my about no more, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I've always done push-ups, but that's all I do. That pull-ups, and I do very light weights for my shoulders just to kind of keep them reinforced, but not heavy because I prefer high repetition tendon reinforcement than isolated training on the muscle mass. So I feel better. I feel better. I'm equate to my own bone density in terms of muscle mass, and it feels good. So I'm just going to keep that active like that.
I can tell it's working. It's charming you and everything. I was going to ask you what your current fitness regime is, but you kind of beat me to that. So good on you for
No,
that
no,
one.
no, no problem. No, no, I can elaborate. I mean, I still do martial arts. It's still considered a calisthenic movement. But every day it's my push-ups, different catches. I stay faithful to the number between 200 and 300, depending how I feel. And I do them throughout the day. Sometimes I do them within an hour's time, sometimes within 2, 3 hours time, just depending on if I'm busy or if I'm not busy. I need to I'll be honest with myself and do them no matter what, even if I've had 3 beers, but I usually don't during the week. I do that on Saturday. That's my day off. But even if somehow they cross intersect at an event or something, and someone hands you a drink to celebrate the event, I have to do my push-ups. So I'll go somewhere. Even I once went to a premiere and I gave my this was years ago. I gave my drink to my friend and I went out into the street and I did my push-ups there just to do them because as a kid I promised my grandfather. My grandfather told me my father's father. He told me something very interesting. He said, Kris, you always have to be able to lift a box. That's it. And I said, okay, what does that mean? It's very good advice. And he said, you have to be able to lift a box. So find a way to always stay true to your physical stature and your temple. And so push-ups is that for me. Push-ups keeps me grounded. Push-ups keeps me in check, and it keeps the body active and movement. And I think when I'm 80 years old, I'll still be able to do them. So that's the goal.
You'll still look that good even when you're 80. I have to admit.
Thanks, man. I'm starting to get gray sprouts.
Seasoned, as we always say.
Salt and pepper is good.
My guy, my guy. This is great. This is like a dream come true for me.
Thank you.
Sincerely.
Thank you.
No,
Thank you.
thank you. Honestly, you have my
My
respect
pleasure.
forever. The whole Van Damme
Same.
family has my respect forever. I know because
Thank you.
fitness runs in the family. Because your mother, Gladys How do I say
Yes.
it? Portuguese? How do I say Portuguese? How do you say it?
Yes, Portuguese. Yes, yes, yes.
Portuguese. Okay, thank
Portuguese.
you.
Yes,
Portuguese.
yes.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
it's
Because
fine.
she was a bodybuilding champion, wasn't she? Your father was also a
Yes,
bodybuilding champion. He won Mr. Belgium before he went to America. Because I remember when
that's
he
right.
won it, there was a picture where he's doing the splits as his reward and going like that. It's like, well, if you could, a guy that big with that much flexibility,
Yes,
that's not even human.
yes. It's very true. It's very true. That's that was what one of his amazing points was and still is that
Yeah.
his the way his body's built, his skeletal structure allows for that mass. And at the same time, he's able to be so flexible and have all this dexterity and move that quick. He has his movement is still so quick. He's got that same gift that guys like Ayrton Senna and Michael Schumacher had. That
Oh yeah.
0.8 or zero point 0.6 or zero point 0.5 frame rate calculation, where the average human, I think, resonates somewhere between zero point 0.8 to 1 frame per second in terms of understanding where things are, or reflexes, whereas my father and certain people, because maybe the way their brains are developed, resonate react on a different. That's why when they speak, they're kind of, if you look at Michael Schumacher when he speaks, his eyes, the way they move. Ayrton Senna was the same, but very poised, but very quick. My father's the same. It's almost like a blade, and that's something he's always had. But yes, going back to my mother, she was 3 or 4 times in competitions of Miss Olympia, Night of the Champions, um, many top 3 titles. I believe it's funny because she did it in a period of 3 years, something crazy like that. She 3 or 4 years. She was working at McDonald's in the late 70s, early 80s. I think it was 80, 81. And she saw Rachel McGlish on screen on a competition. She said, "What's that?" And she used to watch the operas and the ballet on the old TVs with her sisters. But what's that? I want to do that. And so she took her job, found a way to make her job work and go to the gym Better Bodies, I think it was at the time, and found her coach. And her coach trained her. And in 3 to 4 years tops, she was standing on stage with like 0 point whatever body, not even a percent body fat, against Rachel McGlish and Carla Dunlop and all the biggies at the time. And my mother was always natural. She still is. She's never smoked a cigarette, never drank a glass of alcohol, at least a full glass. She's tried like that much in her life one time, and that was it. She's very clean. She's an angel of a human being, an angel of a spirit. She's an amazing person, incredible person, very strong person. To have to deal with all the stuff we had to deal with in the 90s and the fame, the career, and to stay true, to separate but never truly separate and return. She's my father's anchor in a lot of ways, shapes and
Yeah.
forms. Really, and but she's a true champion. When she trains, she still trains. She's almost 70 years old. She's now 67, gonna be 68. She's she looks like she's 54, maybe 50. She's amazing. Skin like porcelain, very cut, very healthy, and is an amazing oil painter, master oil painter, which is beautiful. So she's been kind of expanding her horizons into this niche right now. If you guys want to follow her at, I think it's GP Art or Gladys Portuguese Official or something. I'm not really on Instagram much. My wife guides me there, but she has all her paintings being slowly processed there and stuff. So yeah, no, she yeah. I have her in terms of going back to the athleticism of it all. Addi, I have her genetics in terms of her body shape, but I have my father's muscle quality. Sorry, I have my father's flexibility. I have my mother's muscle quality. So when I used to train heavy weights, I would get so big so quick, but I would always stay very lean and cut. I would never get round. My sister is
Yeah.
the opposite.
Yeah,
Yes,
she's a legend. If she's listening, big shout
she's
out.
amazing.
And
Ah,
yeah,
yeah,
honestly,
she's great.
you
Shout out to
mentioned
Bianca.
God bless her. And she could do
God
the
bless her.
amazing splits as well. I've seen that. And
Yes,
like,
yes, she's
it's,
she's in that girl is in such great shape, and she has come such a long way in her life with a lot of ups and downs. She's made it through a lot of trials and tribulations, and she's come so far in such a short amount of time. It's incredible what the mind and body can go through in a certain amount of time. And I've seen her about 40 40+% of that time physically, but I felt it 80 to 90% of the time because we're connected as siblings. But my sister's physical prowess is very strong, and she takes great care of herself. She's very clean now, doesn't smoke anymore, doesn't drink anymore, none of the above. Very, very clean and very routine driven, which is great. My mother's the same, but my sister has the same quality of muscle as my father. So if she trains weights, she gets pumped super fast. My wife is the same. They train 2-3 times in a week, and they are just. I don't. I suck it all in, but then I've got immense amount of definition. It's an interesting, different type of muscle tonation process, and you can change that, but
Yeah.
people's bodies build muscle different ways. So yeah, she's in great shape. And my brother is also, he's not as athletic as we are, but he should be because he'd be a monster if he is. He's wide like this. He's very slender, but he's from another, he's got another blood type in him. You know, he has Native American blood from his mother's side. And those people are very naturally strong.
Oh yeah, they
They're
are.
just very lean, built, very wide cage. So my brother did a bit of boxing back in the day, and very, very dangerous reach with his arms. Very dangerous. Very long arms, and
Yeah.
super intelligent. Great writer. So my siblings are all very talented, both very talented, and both in good shape for their age. And we're very blessed to have this kind of foundation for our bodies.